Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon and welcome to this special day at Wabash College. On behalf of the faculty, staff, administration, alumni, and fellow students, I want to thank all the parents, guardians, relatives, and friends who are here to celebrate with us today. And I especially want to welcome you, the men of the class of 2023. So that everyone may enjoy the remaining elements of the program, I'd like to ask you please to turn all your cell phones to silent mode at this time. To the class of 2023, my name is Greg Redding. I'm a Wabash alumnus from the class of 1988, and I'm serving as your Dean of Students this year. What an honor it is for me to share this moment with you. It's been a few decades since I sat in your place waiting for then President Salter to ring in me and my classmates as Wabash men. The ringing in ceremony is a tradition that ties you directly to those first 12 students to enroll at Wabash some 186 years ago. Wabash is built on such traditions. Recently, you received a letter from me with a homework assignment. I asked you to read Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, an introduction to the history, traditions, and culture of Wabash College. I am confident that you have all read it carefully and will be prepared to discuss it later on tonight when we gather in Ball Theater to discuss the gentleman's rule. Just as you will always go to class having read the material and prepared the assignments ahead of time, right? All right. We're proud of our rich history and the good work that is done by those who came before us. Wabash is a great college today because our predecessors had the highest expectations. And each successive generation of Wabash students, faculty, staff, and alumni have worked to make the college even better. This is now your task. I challenge you to demand excellence from your classmates, your teachers, and most of all, from yourself. In the end, your college experience will be only as good as you make it. Your path through Wabash may zigzag a bit. You may stumble a time or two along the way. But if you choose to seize them, you will have innumerable opportunities for growth, both in and out of the classroom. I promise, in return, that we will take you seriously. We will help you pursue your dreams and aspirations, your desire to achieve and to grow and to construct a life of meaning. The wider Wabash community is eager to help you find your way. Men of the class of 2023, we're ready for you. Are you ready? Let's hear it again. Are you ready? Yeah. Very good. One way we show our spirit at Wabash is through the singing of our beloved fight song. If you do not already know the words to Old Wabash, you can find them inside the front cover of your orientation booklet. I invite you to join in with the Wabash College Glee Club under the direction of Professor Carissa Millington as they provide a rousing rendition of Old Wabash. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and sing along.
Rise for a longing eyes of folks on the evening breeze. When the day is done, the west is
Everyone, please be seated. Thank you very much to the members of the Glee Club who returned early to campus today to help us reignite the spirit of our college through song. The Glee Club is another cherished tradition at Wabash. For the past 127 years, the Glee Club has spread the fame of Wabash's honored name quite literally around the world, most recently on a tour of Taiwan this past summer. Any members of the entering class who are interested in singing with the Glee Club should plan on auditioning this coming Tuesday and Wednesday with Professor Millington. All students should get busy memorizing the lyrics to Old Wabash, which we believe to be the longest college fight song in the country. In a little over a month, you men of the class of 23 will have the opportunity to sing that song over and over and over again at the annual Chapel Sing competition during homecoming week. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our Dean for Enrollment Management, Mr. Chip Timmons, an alumnus from the Wabash class of '96. Chip is here representing all those affiliated with the effort to recruit each of you to our college. Counselors, coaches, alumni, faculty, administrators, indeed, every member of the Wabash community is tapped to help prospective students understand why Wabash is such a great choice. Many people played a key role in your matriculation here, and we are all excited that you have chosen Wabash. In order that he may welcome you and describe you a bit to one another, please welcome Mr. Chip Timmons.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Wabash family. So when I was young, my mom used to remind me that you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. And usually she said that because there was some awkward moment at a family gathering, or maybe my dad was questioning an official's call to athletic contest, something like that. But I have to say this now, and I know my mom's watching, that she's wrong. You can pick your family. You young men up on the second floor, when you chose to enroll at Wabash College, you didn't just pick a college, you chose a family. To all the moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, brothers, sisters, aunts, and uncles that are here with us today, you joined the Wabash family too. I want to take a few seconds to thank some folks in my work family, my colleagues on the admissions financial aid staffs. At some points in the year, you probably heard from those folks more than you did hear from your own immediate family, calling to remind you to get your application completed, your FAFSA, come visit and the like. But please join me real quick and just give them a round of applause. Thank you for their good work. All right, so what can I tell you about the 235 new members of our family joining us today? You have an average GPA of 3.75. You have an average SAT score of 1,230. 5 of you are valedictorians. 16 of you earned a perfect score on a component of the SAT or ACT. And last year alone, combined, you took 986 advanced placement, international baccalaureate, or honors courses. You guys aren't slouches, that's for sure. You hail from 8 countries and 14 states. If you attended Cathedral, Carmel, Roncalli, or North Central High School, you're here with at least 5 of your fellow Fighting Irish, Greyhounds, Rebels, and Panthers. And mascots interest me because I grew up in Frankfort, Indiana. I'm a Frankfurt hot dog. I'm a little giant. So just endure with me here. But we also have a member of the Buff and Blue, a snowbird, a spark plug, a Barbie crow, and an orphan. I'll let you and Siri and Alexa figure out which high schools those guys attended. 48 of you are legacies. You're already in the family. And our next family gathering, if someone calls for Michael, 5 of you should answer. And Samuel, same goes for all 5 of you. And if someone calls for Jacob, 7 of you are going to answer. But the 2 of you who are Jacobs who go by Jake better be careful because they're using your full name. You're probably in trouble. And families celebrate birthdays. 4 of you have a birthday on August 15th, so a belated happy birthday to you. And 4 of you will celebrate birthdays on November 14th. What else do we need to know about you? 18 of you held the title of president of a class, club, or organization. 6 of you are Eagle Scouts. 2 of you interned for U.S. senators. This week, 1 of you was recognized as an outstanding citizen by your local community for a brave and selfless act of heroism. Also among you is a member of a national runner-up rugby team, a precinct committee chairman, a member of a mission team that fed the homeless in Haiti, a Taekwondo national champion, and a 2-time cancer survivor. All those amazing accomplishments, but what continues to stand out to me most as I read your applications was the words that your teachers, counselors, coaches, and mentors used to describe you. Words like legend, hero, leader, servant, role model, inspiration. In a few moments, you'll officially join the Wabash family, and it's the moment you're going to remember forever. Family's forever, and Wabash is forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Chip. You and your team, very broadly defined, have done great work to show this entering class the value of a Wabash education. And so on behalf of the student life team, also very broadly defined, I accept the responsibilities for the holistic education of these newest students about to be rung in as Wabash men. You know, it's impossible to reduce the full scope of the Wabash experience down to a few pithy slogans, but there are 2 phrases in particular, our mission statement and our rule of conduct, that will inform much of our work together. Our mission, simply stated, is that Wabash College educates men to think critically, act responsibly, lead effectively, and live humanely. If you did not already exhibit each of these qualities to some degree, you would not be sitting here right now. But over the next 4 years, we will challenge you to work harder, strive further, question more, and reach higher than you ever have up to this point in your lives. We will empower you to discover your full potential, to push past self-imposed limits, and to own your collegiate experience. The choices you make will be governed by our code of conduct, which consists of one sentence. The student is expected to conduct himself at all times, both on and off campus, as a gentleman and a responsible citizen. Wabash men have been guided by the gentleman's rule for nearly 70 years. And in that time, the world in general and the student experience in particular have seen significant changes. But the basic good sense of what constitutes responsible behavior has not. Beginning this evening and continuing throughout orientation and beyond, we will explore together the full implications of the gentleman's rule and the high standard of conduct that it demands. You will learn that at Wabash we seek to maximize student freedom, but with great freedom comes great responsibility. Adhering to the gentleman's rule will help you live a life with purpose, both now as students and later as alumni. It's been my privilege to know many Wabash alumni from all eras and all walks of life. Through their professional accomplishments, their commitment to service, and their devotion to alma mater, I have seen how both the college mission and the gentleman's rule have continued to inform their lives long after their college days have passed. It is no surprise then that our alumni network is consistently ranked among the very best in the country. We have the most passionate, most dedicated, and most engaged alumni that you can imagine. No one knows that better than those who serve on the board of directors for our alumni body, the National Association of Wabash Men, or NAWM. Here to speak on behalf of our alumni and welcome the class of 2023 into the Brotherhood is my much younger fraternity brother, member of the Wabash class of 1992 and current president of the NAWM, Mr. Mark Nichols.
Thank you, Dean Redding. Good afternoon. Gentlemen, silence. If you listen closely, if you're silent, that sound you hear, faint and distant, are the footsteps of all those who came before you. They gather as ghosts on the mall and in the classrooms, in the fraternities and the dorms. Faintly, they whisper to you through nearly 2 centuries of this college's existence. They're not loud footsteps, but each was made by a little giant. The steps are often in patterns, 1, 2, maybe 3 steps forward, 1, maybe 2 steps sideways, perhaps the occasional 1 or 2 steps back, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, a giant leap, and then another, and yet another, until the footsteps disappear. You've seen and heard footsteps like these all of your lives, if you were really looking, really listening. Perhaps the footsteps' owners lacked identity, but they've been there all along. Every success you've achieved, every ounce of love you've ever felt, every failure you've ever encountered were made more successful, more loving, or less failing because of these footsteps. They, of course, belong to your mom or your dad, to your brother or your sister, perhaps the wise word of a grandparent or a teacher or a coach, or most likely the result from and the hallmark of a true friendship. Those footsteps help lead you here, to this place, in this college, the next pit stop on your journey to becoming a man, and all that becoming a man truly means. Being a man will not be about the bravado or machismo of your maleness, although I'm sure there will be plenty of that over the next 4 years, but of learning to be good and engage global, national, and local citizens, and a good friend, of developing into caring and a generous spouse, and a kind and loving father, of learning how to be gentle and understanding bosses, and a nurturing and reliable presence for those who will come to rely upon your actions and your words. This is what true manhood is, and what you will learn at this college. In the turbulent times in which we live, becoming a man means ensuring we don't become, as the writer Paul Monette once described it, quote, creatures of the cruelties we witness, close quote. Undoubtedly, most of you have great examples of what it means to be a good man in your homes and schools as you sit here now, and hopefully they will continue to play that role for you long after you leave. But today, the fight to make you into the best man you can be is joined by the amazing faculty who will push you in order so you may discover not just the limits of what you thought you could achieve, but how to extend beyond where you thought you could succeed. By the coaching staff who will test your skills in ways you haven't even begun to tap. Quote, to get something you've never had, the actor Denzel Washington said to a student body similar to this one, you have to do something you've never done, close quote. That's what these next 4 years will be about, trying new things, maybe failing at some things. Now, I can feel your families agitating in their seats, imploring me to add this caveat, don't fail out of college. Go to class, sit in the first couple of rows, take good notes, review those notes nightly and weekly. Nonetheless, do things that you've never done in order to find out what you're truly capable of doing. And in the process, develop a passion that will take you far beyond your wildest dreams. Quote, there is no passion to be found playing small, said Nelson Mandela, and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living, close quote. Never choose a career or anything really just for money. Find your passion, hone it into a top-class expertise, and I guarantee you the money will follow. People will always pay money, top dollar usually, to someone whom they consider to be the best at something. Of course, the best plumber may not earn what Michael Jordan did during his reign as the world's best basketball player, but I assure you, if plumbing is your desired profession and you become the best at it, you will earn whatever is considered top dollar for that vocation. Next, know that your fellow classmates will become some of your greatest and most frequent teachers in the classroom and in life. Take a look around, gentlemen. Look closely at each other. These are your competitors and your future best friends, the guys you'll ask to be the best man at your wedding and the godfather of your children, the men whose tips on your resume will help you get that longed-for but difficult-to-attain job. They will be there for you in your life's highs and lows, and there will be plenty of both. I know because some of my very best friends, the men whom I serve as godfather to their children, the best man at their weddings, men with whom I've shared tears and the heartiest of laughs, started right here in these pews and in these classrooms and on these fields. There is much diversity among you, as Dean Timmons has already conveyed, but there is so much more. Diversity of thought, for sure, but also a political persuasion of different countries, cultures, religions, race, and sexual orientation, to name but a few. Ensure your friends reflect the diversity that I assure you will enrich your lives on campus and after you leave it. Get to know these other people. As someone who spends a lot of time traveling the globe, I can attest the beauty of getting to know cultures unlike yours and seeing for a moment the world through their perspective is that they help you see the world anew and become less dogmatic about your own worldview. The last point on this, get involved. Few people learn things by sitting on the sidelines. Play a sport, join the Glee Club, as Dean Redding has already pointed out, take an immersion trip, or put your faith into action and not just in prayers. These will all deepen your Wabash experience and ultimately will make you a better student, a better man, a better citizen, and a better alumnus. One last issue, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it. Who you will become, and how you will be remembered will not just rest on the type of man you'll be professionally, but how you will manifest other traits important in the development of you as a man. In other words, here at Wabash is where you will take deeper strides in developing what will become known as your reputation. Back at home in high school, perhaps your mistakes in life might be dismissed as youthful indiscretions. You might be forgiven the occasional childish thing you do with 2 or 3 or more chances. That will not be the case going forward. President Hess and Dean Redding, I assure you, will limit the number of chances you get in trying to do the right thing, the adult thing. They will raise the bar of expectations, and therefore so should you of yourselves and each other. Future employers, like myself, will limit them even more if we give you a chance at all, if a bad reputation precedes you. We do our homework on you too. Who you are as a person will be as important, perhaps more so, as what you do with your career. All of you are good young men. If you weren't, you wouldn't be here. You're not saints, of course. Few of us are. That's one of the reasons we have a dean of students. But becoming a Wabash man also means not forgetting your values. It means extending the virtues of what your family has done their level best to instill in you: honesty, intellectual rigor, humanity, leadership. These values deserve, nay, they demand that you remember and exhibit them. As legendary Wabash professor William Plaker, himself a class of 1970 alum and mentor to many of us, succinctly said during an address he gave back in 1981, quote, "We must find occasion to talk about values, to make clear that Wabash men who turn out to be crooks or bigots represent not only a personal disappointment, but an educational failure," close quote. Ethics, Plaker continued, isn't just the frosting on the educational cake, easy to eliminate for those on a value-free diet. It must be an integral part of every aspect of our kind of liberal arts education, close quote. These must be the hallmarks of a Wabash man, your Wabash education, yours and our reputation as an institution. As Professor Plaker concluded on that day, quote, "It only takes a few educated people to make a difference. And if in the years ahead, some of those few are not graduates of Wabash College, including, I would add, all of you gentlemen starting your journey to becoming a man and seated in this chapel today, you will have failed to be worthy of the tradition you stand to inherit," close quote. These are the footsteps, gentlemen, in which you follow and how you create footsteps of your own. More than 14,000 living alumni of this college await your call, your email, your Facebook or LinkedIn requests. Like your family, teachers, coaches, and friends, we too offer what we can for you, for those of you willing to extend an invitation to become perhaps your mentor, your teacher, or even maybe a lifelong friend. No one gets to this place or out of it without a lot of help. We, like your family and friends back home, former teachers and coaches who push you to get to this level, want to see you become who you're capable of being. Perhaps sometimes easily, sometimes with great struggle, but I assure you there are people whose footsteps have already laid a path to the life and the person you want to be. You'll need to put in the work in actually achieving that life and becoming the person you want to be, but let us help show you some ways forward. Start with your faculty advisor, then career services. Your family may be crying today as the boy they nurtured into adulthood takes his biggest steps yet into manhood, but trust me, don't let the tears fool you. They want you to get a job, move out at some point, probably sooner rather than later, get off the parental payroll, as my family used to say. Know everyone in this community is here to help you, not to do for you. As of today, the doing is now on you, but to provide guidance and experience. And finally, when you do graduate from this wonderful institution, attain that great job you've always wanted, and set out free to explore the world, know that you will also have another obligation. As the Nobel laureate Toni Morrison, who recently passed, once put it, quote, "When you get these jobs that you have been so brilliantly trained for, just remember that your real job is that if you are free, you need to free somebody else. If you have some power, then your job is to empower somebody else," close quote. This is what being an alum means, and what we alumni hope to do here, empower you. I look forward to meeting as many of you as I can. Don't be that bashful about introducing yourself to me or any other alum. We truly want to get to know you. Let us know how we might be helpful in helping you become the best man and the kind of man you want to be. We cannot guarantee success, but sometimes we can set you on the right path. Welcome to Wabash, gentlemen, and to your family, we welcome you with open arms into our family. Thank you.
Many thanks to you, Mark, and to all the members of the NAWM for the essential work that you do to support the college. And now it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you the 16th president of Wabash College, Dr. Gregory Hess. Now in his 7th year of leadership at the college, President Hess has cultivated a campus culture of self-reflection and improvement, and he continuously challenges the faculty, staff, coaches, and alumni to do all that they can to provide our students with the best possible educational experience. As Wabash College nears the end of its second century, President Hess is already looking ahead and working tirelessly to make sure we will enter our third century of educating young men from a position of strength. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our 16th president, Dr. Gregory Hess.
They say there are only 2 days in your life that truly matter: the day you were born and the day you realize why you were born. Gentlemen of the class of 2023, welcome to the beginning of your second day. Why is today so very pivotal? Our Wabash education centers on the fundamental question, what kind of man do you want to be? Your journey to answer this question begins now, this very moment. That's why today is critical. It's the beginning of your second day, the day you realize why you were born. You have to answer the question, what kind of man do I want to be? And you ask yourself, how are we going to equip you to answer our enduring question? You're going to do so with Scienze e Virtute, our motto, knowledge and virtue, or in Wabash shorthand, know-how and guts. Let's begin with the knowledge piece. You chose to attend a rigorous liberal arts college. You made the right decision and have chosen an educational path that will prepare you broadly for the 10 or more careers that you will have over your lifetime. You chose wisely. Here you will passionately pursue a range of academic interests, and you will find many of them. That is the Wabash recipe for professional success, which is why we have such stellar ratings for the economic return on your investment in your great education. That being said, the moral bedrock of our challenge is not just to be financially successful men, it is to be good men, to try to be better men, men who want the best for themselves and for others. That, in and of itself, is the virtue part of our motto. We make it easy for you. The gentleman's rule is the foundation of your Wabash journey. It is the most distinctive part of a Wabash education. It is a code of conduct and set of expectations that will guide you for the rest of your life, or certainly should guide you for the rest of your life. The gentleman's rule culture of the college guides you to balance independence with responsibility and to strengthen your resilience, to engage in face-to-face discussions on critical areas of agreement and disagreement in a civil and respectful manner, and understand that you are citizens here, not just customers. You are adults, and you will be treated that way from this very day forward. You are expected to lead your club, govern your fraternities, and shape your own lives and the lives of others. Not 2 years from now, but starting right now. Today is the day you realize why you were born. Today is the day, as a Wabash man, you begin your journey to realize just how truly great you truly are. Now, your parents and families already see greatness in you, even though sometimes they hid it, right? They hid they hid the fact that they saw it from you once in a while. And it's a scary time for them, and I can say that because I know exactly how you feel. Am I right, parents? I'm sure you're worried, just as Laura and I were when we dropped our daughters off at college not that very long ago. But remember, college is not about you or me. It's about your sons. I invite you to let them go and to allow them to grow, to trust your sons to be the gentlemen we at Wabash know they can be. We have invited you and want you to join us on their Wabash journey with your sons, but for their ultimate education to take root, we need you to allow them enough freedom to flourish and to occasionally, as is pointed out before, to fail so that they can learn and grow. Wabash is an and college, not an or college. Unlike other colleges and universities, your sons can enjoy doing a whole range of activities at the college, from playing a sport to being in a play to joining a fraternity and to being pre-med, if they so choose. Your son will make choices, and they will be his choices, not his professor's choices, not his coach's choices, not his glee club director's choices. We trust him to make good choices, and we ask that you be patient and trust as we support his decision-making. Men of the class of 2023, please rise and join me in thanking your parents and family for getting you to this important point in your lives and for this. And for the sacrifices they will make to support you. Now, please sit down and indulge me as I give you a little advice. I call this part of the speech the four gets, not to forget. There's an easy way to remember it. These four gets spell the word wish. And so this is my personal wish for each one of you. The first get, not to forget, is get to work. College courses are hard, but they are not impossible. Among other things, you are here to work. In fact, make that your very top priority. The corollary to get to work is to get to class. There is no better place to learn than in class with your peers and your professors. Wabash boasts the nation's most accessible professors. Take advantage of that. It may seem odd to you at this moment, but members of the faculty are not just your teachers. They will become your mentors and friends. Now, one of the weakest excuses that Dean Redding and I will hear from what are called feckless students at Wabash — feckless is not a good word to be referred to at Wabash College — it starts off with, well, something happened or something was going on, so I decided not to go to class. Really? I wouldn't drop that on me or the other Greg. Life gives no sufficient conditions for success. Hard work is really the only necessary condition there is. Show up. Everything you get in life you work for. There are no shortcuts. Get to work. That's the first get, not to forget. The second one, get involved. So we got W, work, I, involved. Make friends and find activities you enjoy. Discover what inspires you and what you are passionate about. You will not enjoy college by yourself. Make friends. Find your brothers who can go along with you on this exceptional journey that is Wabash. Hiding in your room by yourself may do wonders around midterms, finals, and comprehensive exam time. But do not be that creepy guy who never leaves his room, never showers, never stops playing Fortnite, and never manages to enjoy our campus life. Get involved. That's the second get. Work. Involved. Third, the importance is rising here, everyone. Third, it's the letter S. Ready? Get to sleep. All right, I've been a college administrator for a while. Allow me the experience of telling you that the benefit of my experience, every sad story that happens in college has the same first sentence. Ready? It was late at night. Right? I have never heard a bad story that happened just after breakfast. Not a single one. When people around you start making bad decisions late at night, stop what you are doing and go to sleep. Better decision making takes place in the morning light. Remember the third get, not to forget, especially late at night. Get to sleep. We've got work, involvement, sleep. Here is probably the most important one. Get help. Races are won on the turns, not on the straightaways. Everyone looks good on the straightaway, but life twists and turns. Be ready for it. Be ready for the unexpected. If you need help with your schoolwork or finding an internship or with your health or with your state of well-being, it is incumbent upon you to get some help. There are people here, no matter the problem, who can help you. Many men convince themselves that they can go it alone, but that is often a road to ruin. It is an important and critical sign of maturity and wisdom to get help when you need it. So you got work, involvement, sleep, help. Those are the 4 gets not to forget. Gentlemen, your second day has just begun. Get to work, get involved, get to sleep, and get help. Now, class of 2023, please rise and introduce yourselves and shake the hands of the men around you. These are the men. These are the men. Third time. These are the men who will become some of your greatest teachers, your lifelong friends, your business partners, the best men at your weddings, and your strength in times of joy and need. Men of the Wabash College class of 2023, please remain standing. I challenge you to live up to our high expectations set forth in our mission and gentleman's rule, not just for today, but from this second day forward. If you are prepared to take up this challenge, to determine the man that you want to be, to take on the responsibility of your own life and the lives of your brothers, to set as your goal to live a wise and virtuous life embodying the gentleman's rule, to live up to the high ideals articulated in our mission of this college, to think critically, act responsibly, lead effectively, and live humanely, then stand with pride so I might continue the tradition begun by the very first professor of Wabash College, Caleb Mills, and using his bell, ring you into the good company of Wabash men. Congratulations, men of the Wabash College class of 2023. Welcome to the brotherhood. Welcome to the beginning of your second day.
Thank you, President Hess, and congratulations to our newest Wabash men. Before we conclude our program, I want to make sure everyone understands the schedule for the rest of the afternoon. After the Glee Club leads us in singing the alma mater, parents and students both will find their orientation group leaders outside on the mall, and it looks like the rain has stopped. Students, your group assignment is indicated by number in your folder. You'll look for the corresponding number outside. You'll meet with faculty advisors, tutorial instructors, and orientation mentors through 3:15, after which you'll have some time for hugs and goodbyes until 4 p.m. We're not done yet. It's like in class as they're watching the clock, right? Parents and guests are reminded that President Hess and his wife Laura look forward to meeting you in Trippett Hall, which is the building directly opposite the chapel, across the mall on the north side of Wabash Avenue. Please just come as you are. Despite our appearance, we're an informal place, and this is an informal event. So please go over and meet some other parents and families at that gathering. Before closing, I'd like to also thank the small army of people who made today possible. The admissions office, Associate Dean Heather Thrush, student mentor managers Anthony Williams and Sam Russell, the student orientation mentors, the staffs of Bon Appetit, Campus Services, and the deans and president's offices, and the leadership of the National Association of Wabash Men. I'd also like to thank Jacob Anderson for accompanying on the piano, class of 2021. And I'd like to thank Professor Millington and the Glee Club for leading us in song. And last but certainly not least, thank you so much to the parents and guardians who have made it possible for these young men to continue their education at this special place. To you, we say welcome to the Wabash family, and to the men of class of 2023, welcome to the Brotherhood. The Glee Club will now conclude our program with the alma mater, the lyrics for which are found on the inside of the back cover of your program. Please rise for our alma mater.
Long sense.